So in Diablo 4, we just got done with the season of Witchcraft's ending in about a week, and then the new season at the end of April will be Belial's Return. Um, yeah, my name's Travis O'Leary. This is not my job. I consider music my job, even though I'm still getting started. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video. The goal is to entertain Diablo players, something to watch while you're waiting for the new season to start so you can grind and unwind. I'm going to keep this pretty casual, but I'm going to be going line for line over the Diablo 4 2025 roadmap and give my expectations or just my input on what I think could be going on with all that stuff. So I've got the roadmap open here. I'm not showing it on screen. But yeah, I'm going to read that. So we did the season of Witchcraft. Let's go over that quickly. Witchcraft powers, quests, and reputation board. That was pretty cool. It's a borrowed power. So it's like new powers that every class can use, which is really cool. And when you start a new alt character, like a new character, you still have those powers. So the witchcraft powers are really cool. Like you're like a level 20 rogue and you've got this aura of poison that one shots every enemy. Very fast leveling. Combine that with when you get to level 35, you can equip the mythic uniques, and it's just you're done. You're done leveling. Headhunt activity. That was just an upgrade to Hell Tides. Um, there was an issue with the shielding on all of the enemies in the headhunts. They originally were going to have a lot of HP, but they replaced that with a shield. I personally had issues with this on my first character. Doing some of the headhunt activities, I had issues getting through those shields before I died. But overall, the headhunt was really cool. What I would do is search for a headhunt that has 20 minutes or more. Do a few of the headhunts, kill the headless husk to get the 5 whispers, and then move on, find another headhunt that has like 20 minutes left, do a few, get the headless husk. So you get those 5 whispers really quick. So that's how I did that. The occult gems are really cool. I don't know what we're going to do for the quality of life here because the occult gems gave borrowed power. They gave all resist and they gave armor in the same slot. So going forward in Belial's Return in the next season, we won't have resist and armor on the same gem socket. You'll have to choose resist or armor. Usually you'd go with armor. That's going to be an issue. I don't know how we're going to solve that. Maybe everyone's going to be wearing Tyrael's might or the boots. There's a couple of boots that give all resist as well. I'm going to go line for line on this roadmap and just talk about it. My expectation is just to entertain Diablo players until the next season starts. Belial's Return at the end of April. So we got Earnable Raven Pet. That was at the end of the season journey. I got that. It's really cool. I like that it's flying. Flying pets are a little bit smoother. They pick up the gold a little bit smoother. New armory. The armory needs work. For one, the gems don't swap. Um, that's a big issue. So the quality of life of switching builds, you have to switch your build and then make sure you have the right gems. That was an issue for me. Also, I kind of realized like while I was leveling up and gearing up, getting into Torment 4, I would say 10 times, 10 different times I saved my build in the armory and never loaded that up. So I'm basically just updating every time I get a new drop, update the armory, but I never had to load it. I rarely switched builds. A lot of the S tier builds are kind of one size fits all, jack of all trades. If they can push. One thing I wanted to talk about is the builds. This is like a side tangent, but if a build can do Torment 4, it can also do Pit 100. That's an issue because Pit 100 is much higher than Torment 4. It's kind of like you're either in Torment 2, Torment 3, and then you get a build that can do Torment 4. Oh, now you can do Pit 100. It's a big It's a big gap. Like you're either a Torment 2 build or you're a Pit 100 build. I think Torment 2 is like Pit 35 or Pit 40 or something. Whispers quality of life update. This was interesting because you got the ravens in the headhunt zones and the whisper zones. So when you get your full whispers done and you want the cache, you can go turn it in the zone. You don't have to go back to the whispers zone, the town. You can just turn it in the zone that you're doing the whispers in. I don't know if this is a big upgrade because in Torment 4 you have so much loot that when it's time to turn in your whispers, you almost have to go back to town to salvage and put stuff in your stash anyway. Basically what happens is I have 9 whisper. I think 10 whispers is the cap, but let's just say 10 whispers is the cap. I have 9 whispers and I'm fighting a headless husk. Well, one of the headhunt cocoons opens and it's the slay, and so you slay that character. Now you're at 10 and it's time to turn in. The headless husk is about to spawn and you need those 5 whispers. That's like half of the whisper cache. So you quick run over to the raven, turn it in, then run back to the husk and kill the husk and get 5. It's kind of weird. I think we need to work on that a little bit. But anyway, so that's witchcraft that we already have. We have 3 more to do. Belial's return. Um, so we got Belial as the mega boss. He's from Diablo 3. Looks like it's kind of the same fight as Diablo 3 from what I saw. Like it's like a zoomed out view, super isometric because Belial's so big and you're on this platform that's like a crescent shape, and you dodge his fire breath, you dodge his meteors, and try to get the kill without dying. Okay, so boss powers, quests, and reputation board. I didn't play the PTR, but from what I understand, you kill the boss, like a world boss or Belial or Duriel, and now you have that boss's power. I think I saw people running around with the Wandering Death power, like the beam that he has that goes in 3 directions. That'll be cool. One thing I'm hoping is that, like in the season of Witchcraft, how you get that poison aura and you start a new character, and now you're one-shotting everything with your poison aura. It would be cool if your alts have those boss powers as well for quick leveling. Also, one thing I'm hoping for, I'm going to be playing on hardcore in season 8. It's my first time playing hardcore to start the season. Not in Diablo 3, played that for 10 years. Not in Diablo 4, never started and had my main be on hardcore. My idea is to make a YOLO boss killer single target DPS, RGK, that can go get the boss power. And then if it's like the witch powers, I can bring that boss power from my YOLO RGK single target DPS onto my main character. So I don't risk dying with my main character to get the Belial power. Uh, apparition incursion activity. I did not play the PTR, so I do not know what that is. What I'm guessing is it'll be, so this is for entertainment. I'm not like I'm not like trying to make money in a career here with Diablo, but like I want to make money on music. But apparition incursion activity, I'm guessing it's a Helltide, Helltide slash event. This is just my guess. I did not play PTR. Incursion. So like you look at the map and you see some zone is being invaded. Maybe like a mini boss with ads that spawn, and you get all these materials to buff up your boss powers. Like your boss powers you can get the Wandering Death. You kill the Wandering Death, get the boss power, but you have to do the apparition and incursion events to level up the Wandering Death boss power. We'll see. Earnable feline pet. That's gonna be cool. Probably like a little cat, like a little tiger or something that you get for completing the season journey, which the developers said they want 10% of the people to get the earnable pets at the end of the season journey. I'm going to be doing it on hardcore, and since I have other games I want to play, and I've played a lot of Diablo, like in season 7, I played hundreds of hours and got Paragon 300. I got the 100% achievements on Xbox. Um, so my goal is just to get the season journey and battle pass done on hardcore. So getting that earnable feline pet, that's like the top thing that I want to get. New IP collab. We already know that's Berserk, which is a manga. I don't know if there's an anime of it, but I know I saw like a little video. It looked like an anime video for the promo for Diablo. Yeah, we do know that the new IP collab is Berserk, and what I heard is that it's known to be dark, um, violent, fits right in with Diablo. 2-year anniversary. That sounds cool. How about we get a Mother's Blessing buff for the 2-year anniversary? Um, I'm gonna look that up real quick. Diablo 4 release date. Typing with one hand here. June 1st, 2023. So that'll be June 1st will be so the season starts April 29th. So April, we got May, June. So 2 months into the season with 1 month left. I'm guessing we'll get a Mother's Blessing buff, XP boost, maybe Gold Find boost. That'll be good for leveling alts. What I used to do is play softcore, and then when we get the Mother's Blessing buff, like 2 months into the season, and I've already accomplished everything, I make a hardcore character and level up with the Mother's Blessing buff. So yeah, you can expect 2 months into the season, the final stretch. For the 2-year anniversary, get the Mother's Blessing buff. That's my guess. The permanent additions for the end of April, new lair bosses. We know there's Mephisto, Belial, um, Belial, Urivar, and Harbinger. The Harbinger, who's Urivar? Diablo 4 Urivar. Looking him up on Google. Images. Oh, wow. He looks serious. He kind of looks like me. He's bald and he has a scar. I'm bald and I have scars as well. That'll be fun. I think I remember him in Vessel of Hatred, if I remember correctly. Uh, Reliquaries. What is that? I don't know what reliquaries are. Season journey update. Oh, a season journey update? That's a permanent addition at the end of April for season 8. Season journey update. I know they want 10% of the players to get it. Basically, the way season journey is now, if you make a build that you think should work, and the developers want you to say, if you think it should work, it should work. Mostly talking about procs and talent points, like dealing with like let's say you get 10% critical strike damage and you have a pet build or a summon build, that 10% critical strike should go to your pets and summons. If you think it should work, it'll work. Season journey update. Basically, I make a build that I think is cool, that I think should work and is fun for me. I can do 95% of the season journey with that, but the final 5% of the season journey, I have to go on maxroll.gg and I have to find a tier 4, which is actually a pit 100 build. Find a tier 4 build to get that last 5% of the season journey. And it's kind of soul crushing because it's like I can do this myself. No, I can't. That final home stretch, you kind of need a build guide. I wonder if they're going to make it even harder because maybe they saw my feedback about that. Maybe you're going to need a build guide from maxroll.gg for the entire season journey or the last half of it. Like 2 chapters are in Torment 4 and you need that build guide. Maybe they're making it harder. All right, so we're going to July for season 9, Sins of the Horadrim. Horadric powers, quest, and reputation board. My guess is that the Horadric powers will be the cube from Diablo 3. I'm not too worried about taking too much from Diablo 3 because I really like that game, and I know that Diablo 4 stays true to Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 fans. So taking a little bit from Diablo 3, Horadric powers. In Diablo 3, we had the Horadric cube, which was you pick 3 powers that you get, like 3 aspects that you get without actually equipping the item. So you'd get 1 weapon, 1 set of armor, and 1 ring or amulet power. So you get, if you do the ring and amulet, you get either a utility or a damage boost. The weapon, you get a damage boost, and the armor, you'd get like a defensive or mobility boost. And it's like you pick 3 aspects. In Diablo 3, you would pick 3 aspects with the Horadric cube to have on your character without actually equipping that. So you have 1 sword, but in your cube you have another sword, getting those double offensive buffs. Dungeon escalation. I believe this will be like keys, mythic keys in World of Warcraft. So in World of Warcraft, for the max power and to get your rating up, you'd want to get your rating up to 3K points, 3,000 points, and to do that, you'd have to do a plus 13 mythic key. So let's say it's the beginning of the week. You get your dungeon escalation key. It's a +2 because last week you did a +1. So you see you have a +2 key in your inventory at the beginning of the week. You go on chat or in your clan and you say, hey, I got this +2 key, let's level it up. Or anyone want to do your weekly key, we'll do it too. So you do that too, and if you fail, that key turns into a 1 or just depletes. It gets depleted and you need a friend to take you on their +2 key. So but let's say you beat the +2 key with 5 minutes left on the timer, you now have a +3 key. And if your team wants to keep going, they might just GG and head out because it's that was their weekly. They only wanted to get it done for the week. But some people want to push their rating up and get the high level rewards that are equal to, like in Diablo 4, be equal to Torment 4 rewards, which would be like a +13 key. So you have that +2 every time you do a dungeon. It'll give you a random other dungeon. So let's say you have a +2 dopamine tunnels. You have +2 dopamine tunnels. You run that. Now you have a +3 um, of a different dungeon. So it's +3. It's harder, more rewards. You can continue leveling up, but it's a different random dungeon. Let's say you don't want to do that dungeon. Someone in your group might have another key, a +3 of like Saret's Lair. That's a good one. There's poison damage in that one, but it's a good one. And then you level it up to a certain level that's equal to Torment 4, like a +13 key. It's basically going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be like mythic keys, mythic dungeons in World of Warcraft. The earnable pet. I hope it's flying. I hope the earnable pet is a flying pet, because in season 8 we're gonna have the feline pet. So season 9, let's get another flying pet because they're a little bit smoother. The permanent additions, new nightmare dungeon activities. I'm guessing that'll have something to do with the dungeon escalation, but the permanent will be for the Eternal Realm or non-season players to get something to do. Maybe buff up those masterworking materials. And then the dungeon escalation will be in the season will be like the real way to do the new nightmare dungeon activities, because nightmare dungeons already have keys, so why not work that into the mythic dungeon from WoW idea. Console keyboard and mouse support, that's cool. I already use a keyboard to chat with people because I have crossplay. I'm playing on Xbox. Probably should have said that at the beginning of the video. I play on Xbox Series X. I have a keyboard by my TV that I use to chat with the PC players. So like let's say I go into a bossing run, you just plug it in USB. plug the keyboard in USB to your Xbox. It's very easy, plug and play. You don't have to configure anything. And so let's say I'm doing a bossing run. We're doing like Varshan. I say I have 5, so the rest of the group knows. Okay, we'll each do 5, and then we'll head out. And more. Then the next bullet point is and more. So we'll see what that is. Then in September, season 10, Infernal Chaos. Chaos powers, quests, and reputation board. Chaos to me means random powers. I think it'll be like, here's an idea. Every time you go into a dungeon, you get a random power. So you load up a dungeon, go in the portal, and like wizard or sorceress meteors are coming down on every attack that you do. Finish that dungeon, do another one. Oh, now you have rain of arrows from the rogue on every attack that you do. Chaos to me means randomness, but like good. Like when you turn in a whisper cache, you can choose like this whisper cache has rings and amulets. This whisper cache is chaos, and you'll get like a ring and a weapon. So chaos to me means I think it'd be cool if you get a random other class power, but even if it's just a borrowed power, the cool thing about borrowed power is that it works for all classes in the game. Like the poison aura, any class that if you have that poison aura leveled up, any class that you start over as your alt, you have that poison ring. It's like a borrowed power that works for all classes. But yeah, chaos powers, that'd be cool if you get other classes abilities. Like you get the sorcerer meteor for one dungeon, do the next dungeon, you got the rain of arrows. That could be cool. Infernal Hordes update. Infernal Hordes is a really good way to get to Paragon level 300. You just do Torment IV, Infernal Hordes. The only issue is the 4 cap and the 6 cap are basically worthless. The density just does not get up there. The 8 cap and 10 cap are really good for EXP or for XP. The only issue that I have with Infernal Hordes is that it's hard to get keys. It's a really good way to get XP, but it's not efficient to go to Hell Tides and farm up the Infernal Hordes keys. And if let's say every half hour or every 20 minutes to half an hour you get an Infernal Hordes key, it could be a 6 cap. So you farmed for 20 minutes and you get a 6 cap, it's like GG. Rage quit. So Infernal Hordes update, I think there should be a way to always do it. Or I hate to say it, but always make them 10 cap. Always make them 10 cap. That would be a big quality of life change. So it's not like easy mode where you always have the Infernal Hordes, because I got to Paragon 300 in season 7 and I did not always have it. It was like a special treat when I got an 8 cap or a 10 cap. I'd join a group in the party finder and say, hey, I got a key, and hope someone else runs their keys as well. But I ran into one guy who I joined his group in the party finder, and he says, open a 10 key. I open it, and he stands there AFK, like botting or something, just AFK, waiting for me to clear it. I would just leave. You can also easily report someone. If you leave the group, you can't report them, but so report them and then leave the group. I think after you report them, it automatically kicks you out as well. Not 100% sure about that. Infernal Hordes update. It's a roguelike. I don't really know what you would do to upgrade that. I know one thing, the chest that gives the ancestrals, so you can either get all gold or all masterworking materials, or you can open up the ancestral cache and you get like the scrolls of restoration. I got like 40 scrolls of restoration for tempering, opening those. You get pretty good items too. You can get a mythic from that ancestral. I've gotten a mythic. You get 1 GAs. So you just spend like 150 or 200 of your points to open the ancestral cache, and then you spend the rest on masterworking. It was a good way to do that. I'm just talking about that. I don't know what you could improve, but maybe make it always a 10 key if you don't want to make it easier to have like infinite Infernal Hordes. You still have to go to Hell Tides to farm them, but it's always a 10 key. That would be nice. Earnable pet, cool. Make it flying. New IP collab. So Berserk is the one for season 8. What would be the IP collab? Surprise me. Surprise me. More to come. That's cool. Um, what IP would I like? I have 5 minutes left on this video. What IP would I like to see? Counter Strike. I used to like Counter Strike as a kid. Counter Strike Source. I liked Counter Strike Source a lot. Yeah, do Counter Strike. Do a bomb defusing thing where the terrorists have to go to either you can either go to point A or point B, and the cops have to either go to send someone to A, send someone to B. The terrorists go to B. Now they use voice chat to say, "Oh, he's at B. Everyone come to B." You try to plant the bomb, and then after you plant it, there's like 20 seconds before it goes off, and if it goes off, the terrorists win. If you defuse the bomb, the cops win. Sure, let's do get Valve in there and have so they could bridge the gap. You do the Counter Strike Source collab, and then we got Valve with the Steam Deck are now talking to Diablo. Get Diablo optimized for the Steam Deck. Have the new Xbox meet Steam Deck. We now got Game Pass on Steam Deck, and we now got Steam on Xbox. So you can play Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake through Steam on the Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, Counter Strike. That'd be a good collab. I know Berserk will be cool, but I've never seen that. 2026. So past season 10, new expansion. I know people want closure on the Mephisto fight. Sorry, but there was closure. We beat him. Um, that's it. I would like to see Diablo in a Diablo game. I know Lilith is kind of like Diablo. Like in Diablo 3, Diablo's form was um they used the body of a woman to host Diablo, the primeval, and so Diablo had like a womanly form. So maybe Lilith is Diablo, just with a different name. But yeah, let's get Diablo in there for the new expansion. We don't need more closure on Mephisto. You guys were confused. We did beat him. New ranking system and leaderboards. The ranking system is different from the leaderboards. The leaderboards is for the top 10%, the top 1,000 players, either to get to Paragon 300 or to clear a 150, the first 1,000 people, and then you try to get a better time. Ranking system is more on a personal level for the non-hardcore players. Ranking system is to see where you sit with people of your level, or like where you benchmark yourself, where you were a week ago, where you're at, and maybe that could be tied into the dungeon escalation. Like 1 month ago, I was doing level 7 mythic mythic nightmare dungeons. I was doing level 7 mythic nightmare dungeons 2 weeks ago. Now I'm doing level 13 mythic nightmare dungeons. So that's how the new ranking system will go. It's more casual. The leaderboards are for the top, and I like leaderboards. I'm a fan. In Diablo 3, I would get on the leaderboards quite a few times. In I think it was season 11, I ended the season with like 4 or 5 classes in the top 1,000 for solo greater rifts. Anyway, that's my take on the Diablo 4 2025 roadmap. We're right in at 30 minutes, and my Clipchamp, I'm using Clipchamp to record this. It only does 30 minutes, so I'm going to get out of here. My name is Travis O'Leary. You see me in Xbox. My name is Defeated. See me on Diablo 4. My name is Defeated. And that's my take on the Diablo 4 2025 roadmap. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Peace.